Yo, what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your astrology forecast for this weekend for the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, October 28th and the 29th of 2023. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Hopefully, you guys had a wonderful week, and hopefully, you guys have a wonderful weekend. Spooky season has kind of come early this year with the moon going through Aries, which definitely brought a lot of spice to the forefront. We do have, of course, a full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus that'll be happening today, and definitely a weekend to remember. So let's go ahead and hop into those aspects for the weekend. And I haven't quite decided yet. I want to pull cards for each of the signs for this full moon lunar eclipse, but I don't have enough time before I have to leave. So if anything, I may do like another video later on today, or I'll probably do something for November, because I did skip October for the 12 signs as far as like the sun signs, and I want to bring that back. I know I skipped October, and I definitely want to. I do want to actually do it again. So it's a lot when you're filming all that, and then I have to for me, it just comes down to time management. It really does, So whether I do something tonight, drawing cards for the 12 signs, or if I do, something like for November for the 12 signs, it's going to be one of those two, but more than likely probably something for this full moon lunar eclipse, because I think this one's very, very important. So in any event, let's go ahead and hop into the aspects for today. Of course, like I said, today is the day of the full moon lunar eclipse. It's going to be happening in Taurus, not Aries, but Taurus, because the North Node is here in that last decan, so it's close enough to create the full moon happening in Taurus instead of the eclipse happening in Taurus instead of Aries, right? So as of the current moment, or at least around the current moment, you're going to see that moon having freshly ingressed into Taurus. And we have to remember that it is exalted in Taurus, meaning that it loves to be in Taurus. It much rather be there. That's where it feels its best outside of its home sign of Cancer. It feels the best in Taurus, where it can chill and relax and appreciate those other things in life, appreciate the simple pleasures in life, and really feel comforted in that space. That's where the moon likes to be, right? Now, as you can see, we have some energies that are building up, right? We have Venus building up to the opposition with Neptune. We have the Mercury-Mars conjunction, which will be going all throughout the weekend. We have the Sun, which is on its way to opposing Jupiter. So we have some building energies, and you're going to see, starting off this weekend and then building up throughout the week, that things are going to just be building up and building up and building up. And then, of course, Saturn does station direct next Saturday. So we are about a week out from that, but we're not quite there just yet, okay? Now, let's just go ahead and hop. Let me move this to hours. Let's just go ahead and hop right to that moment of the full moon, right? So it's going to be happening here at 5 degrees, 9 minutes of Taurus, around 4:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as you can see, Mercury and Mars are still coming closer together, but this is going to be a 5-degree moon. Now, 5 degrees is pretty interesting, right? 5 is the number of Gemini, Mercury. The other part, so this is going to be a very hermetic, mercurial kind of full moon. And of course, with full moons, you always talk about things are being released, if you will, right? It's a time when things kind of come out and they're exposed and stuff like that, right? With this sort of full moon, I think a lot of things that are being released, if you will, I guess you could say it will be our beliefs and our communication around value, around the things that unite us, having a common sense of morality. It seems like, with this full moon happening, and you're not going to really see it in the Americas. This is going to be more so of, and I'll show you guys too. Let's see, full moon, October 23. There should be like a path. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on, let me see if I can find it, like an image of it. Image. That way you guys can actually see who's actually going to be seeing this full moon lunar eclipse. Here, let me just type it in here. But really, you're not going to really see it in America. You're going to see it mostly in Europe, and of course, the Middle East is where we're going to be seeing this one happen. Let's see, lunar eclipse, October 2023. Let's see if it actually gives me, if it actually shows me the path. It's not going to, I can't seem to find. Oh, wait, is that it? I think I saw it. Oh, here we go. That's probably like the best. Oh, come on. Can I make this bigger? It's not going to let me make it bigger. Let me click on that. Oh, that's not what I want. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, good. That actually will show you guys. So let me show you guys just where essentially it's being shown. So all right, here you go. So, yep, eclipse at moonrise. The eclipse, as you can see, is just not visible here. So it's ignoring America and South America, right? But it's going to be completely visible here. You know, Africa, the Middle East, Europe, Russia, you know, East Asia, and West Australia. Looks like, you know, a good bit of Australia is going to be cut off. New Zealand ain't getting it, right? So this is where it's visible. Even Alaska is not getting this. And what's interesting about this is that if you look at like the cross section of this, it lands pretty much in this area where a lot of the strife has been happening. This is like the middle of everything, right? So yeah, just take that into consideration with this lunar eclipse as far as where it's going to be hitting and where's the center focus of this eclipse, if you will. So just wanted to bring that to your attention, you know. But like I said, a 5 degree, like I said, this is going to be a rather mercurial, hermetic kind of full moon. So it probably is one of the better full moons to do some sort of like, I guess you could say a ritual if you're like writing something down and trying to release it. But even then, you know, there's more to full moons. There's more to spirituality than just affirmations and writing things down and then burning them at the time of the full moon. There has to be some sort of action that takes place. And of course, the North Node and Aries is still in Aries, right? So that's the thing about this. Like, we can't just put something out into the universe and wish on a star and expect it to actually come true. And I think that's what this full moon for a lot of people is going to be bringing home, that sort of realization, if you will, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, right? Mercury is traveling with Mars here in Scorpio. They're coming tighter and tighter. They are heating up. And you got to think, Mercury, since Mercury does rule Gemini, and it's the mirror, whatever Mercury is with, it's going to reflect and it's probably going to amplify. It's already a conjunction. So conjunctions are already an amplifying kind of energy. So they add to each other. And then Mercury is going to take on the persona of whatever planet it's with. What planet is it with? It's with Mars, the lower malefic planet, right? So, and it's in Scorpio. They're going to be conjuncting at 11 degrees and move to 12 degrees together as well. This is definitely one of those moments where we can feel this sort of deeper intensity coming forward, right? And with Mercury here, the planet of communication and the mind, we can definitely this is a moment, this full moon, where we may get wrapped up in our mind on wanting things to look a certain way and maybe fighting against the transformation, fighting against, you know, thinking that, oh, the world's always going to look the same way. We got to think about, too, with Taurus, if there is a planet that rules Taurus outside of Venus, it's the Earth. Like, the actual Earth rules Taurus, right? So to have a full moon here is going to be, like I said, releasing a lot of this pent up emotion with everyone here on Earth, right? And that could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing. There's positive emotions, negative emotions, and everything in freaking between. Like I said, Halloween's kind of coming early this year. Let's take a look at that Sabian symbol too, because we might as well take a look at the Sabian symbol for 5 degrees Taurus. I think that, and like I said, I'm looking at this and like with you. Like this is the first time I'm going to be looking at this one, so it's not like I looked this up beforehand. We are looking this up at the same time. So we're going to go to Taurus 5 degrees, which is going to end up doing Taurus 6 degrees, right? Okay, let's go ahead and read this together. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing that screen again. And we want to go ahead and just present this right here. All right, Taurus 6, a bridge built across a high, narrow gorge. Okay. This symbol speaks of the ability or the necessity of being a bridge for yourself or others in order to link people, things, places, or understanding. People who act like bridges provide a great service for others as they make it possible to overcome limitations and move forward. To build a bridge takes time, tools, energy, help, and perseverance. Once it is completed, the dangers that it spans are no longer of any real concern, or at least the people can rely on getting across to the other side, as there's a space that's been made for crossing over. One of your jobs may be to break down barriers between people. Oh, jeez. Overcoming distance separation, endeavoring to build continuity, solving problems, bridging emotional chasms, spanning gaps, going straight ahead and not looking down. Don't look down. Don't be like, you're going to be like Donkey, going across this bridge and looking down. And then the plane's going to fall. And you're like, Shrek, I'm looking down. Taking the long way round to avoid asking for help, using shortcuts to cut across the real issue, avoiding facing up to facts, only seeing risks, not solutions. That is spot on for this energy right now. That is spot on. You know what? I think with this full moon here in Taurus, and of course, Taurus, I was like, oh, it's about your value. It's about like money, the physical things that you have in your life and physical possessions and stuff. But I like to also think that Taurus in many ways can rule morality. And you think it'd be Sag, but Sag is belief. Belief is different from morality. And one of the biggest issues I feel like we have is that we try to conflate those two, that morality and belief have to be the same and coincide. But that's the thing. You can have people of different spiritual beliefs, but have a morality that binds them, like thou shalt not kill. That sense of morality permeates and is something that is present in many different spiritual beliefs. I hope all spiritual beliefs, right? So that's the thing. We have conflated the two of morality and spiritual belief, thinking that they have to be one and the same. But that's not the case. The foundation, the root, is morality. And then you have like your spiritual beliefs. All right, Burbies, have a great day. Drive safe, okay? I love you too. Bye. But that's the thing about this sort of energy, is that we can be that bridge of understanding and bringing people together. But you can see, of course, I'm going to use what's happening just as an example of what's happening over in the Middle East and stuff like that, is that there has been this blurring of the lines when it comes to morality and belief, right? There's this blurring of the lines when it comes to that, and it is causing incredible strife and discord and anguish. It's a travesty what's happening over there. On both sides, it's a travesty. And it's funny when this is talking about building a bridge and coming to understanding, and finding peace. But as you can see, to build a bridge takes time, tools, energy, help, and perseverance. So you cannot do this all on your own. You cannot do this all on your own. Overcoming distance and separation, endeavoring to build continuity, solving problems, bridging emotional chasms. Some of you guys, maybe some of you guys, but you probably know people in your life, and we all have been there before too, where we have this emotional chasm. We're like sitting on, I'm envisioning like this giant chasm, but then in the middle of it is like this like stone pillar that you are standing on. And then anyone that tries to reach you falls into this chasm, falls into this canyon, because you won't allow a bridge to be built. So you keep the whole world out standing on this pillar, and then you try to pass it off as, oh, I'm strong, I'm independent, but really you are lonely and you need people, but you won't build a bridge with that person so they can cross over that emotional chasm, so you can cross over that emotional chasm. But the thing is that you probably are afraid of those emotions trying to reach up and grab you and pull you down. I have like this whole image in my head of what it looks like. It's like they're reaching up, trying to grab you and pull you down, and so you can sink deeper into that strife and discord. God, this is about building a bridge, getting over it, going straight ahead and not looking down. This is a narrow gorge, so walking the straight and narrow. But what are people going to be doing? They're going to take the long way around and not ask for help. They're going to be using shortcuts and not addressing the real issue. They're going to avoid facing the facts, and they're only going to see the risks and not solutions. Meaning that some people are going to be afraid to live life. But here's the thing. Life is full of strife, discord, challenges, obstacles, danger. But do you have a solution, beloved? People who act like bridges provide a great service for others as they make it possible to overcome limitations and move forward. This is the role of a light worker, is to be a bridge. That is the role of a light worker, is to be a bridge. But that's the thing about this, is like, in order to really be that light worker, you have to be able to overcome your own emotional chasms. You have to be able to overcome your own shit and not try and find shortcuts and stuff. This is why I'm saying, like, affirmations and stones and all this stuff is really good. Look, I got my stones, right? I got plenty of stones. I got my gemstones. I got my stuff. I write down things. I have all this. I have my books and everything. That's all nice. It's a part of the work, but it's not all of the work. It's not all of the work. This is a full moon, especially being that it's very mercurial, which is going to invite us to slow down and take some time to ourselves and to really think and to sit with our thoughts and sit with our emotions and sit with spirit and navigate these waters, these energies. But so many people refuse to listen to their inner voice because it's scary. Or they will suppress it. So many people suppress their dreams because their dreams are too vivid. They don't like having vivid dreams. I think it's actually pretty sad. I really do. That people avoid that conversation with themselves, that they avoid that conversation with God. And they feel like they outsource it to someone else that is more in a position of authority or knows what they're doing. But every single master at one point was a student. I'm going to repeat that. Every single master at one point was a student. And they would not have become a master if they didn't practice. Some of you guys are holding yourself back from mastery and from doing the thing that you really want to do because you feel like you are not qualified to do it. If every master was worried about whether or not they're qualified to do something or provide a service for someone or to be that light worker, they would not have become a master. And you have to understand that someone is going to take that chance on you. Someone's going to take that chance on you. And you may worry that you may mess up. You may worry that you may not do your best work. You may worry that, and even afterwards, you may be like, I could have done that better. I could have improved there. But there's still a spiritual contract. Some of you guys have people that are lining up spiritually to be helped by you. And for you to build that bridge and help them to become greater versions of themselves, but you are doubting your own abilities because you feel like you're not worthy enough yet. How do you think you get to 10,000 hours or whatever it is that you're practicing, whatever it is that you're doing? You can't just study forever. That's the other part about this. You got to actually apply and practice and get out there and do the work. I know it's scary, but you can do it. And you never know who you're going to help along the way, right? You can't be afraid to put yourself out there. So, get back to the... So, I mean, you move this thing forward, right? You're going to see Mercury enter that 11th degree of Scorpio, and it's going to start to catch up, right? And as you can see, of course, Mercury and Mars are opposite Jupiter. So you got a major conjunction amplifying energy, and they are opposing Jupiter, retrograde in Taurus. Mercury and Mars are going to win this battle. Because essentially you have two malefics now. You have two malefics, a Mars that's in its home, that's strong, that is powerful, that is leading the charge, and a Mercury that's just going to essentially reflect what Mars is doing during a day of reflection with a full moon. Yeah, the full moon is with Jupiter, but Jupiter is retrograde in Taurus, right? And Uranus is here too, so adds a bit of an awkward, weird energy into it. I feel like this might be a battle that does go to like the third round or something like that. But Mercury and Mars wins this one. So you gotta also remember with Mercury that's in Mars, this is about investigation too, right? So Mars is definitely feeling a lot stronger. Like I said, Mars is like the foot soldier, Pluto is the executioner, Saturn is the boss, if you will. So the foot soldier now has Mercury along with them. So they have like the investigator with them that's going to kind of help them and move them forward. If your guy's like, okay, you know, what is it that you're really trying to accomplish here, right? But like I said, this is getting very deep too. This is Scorpio energy, right? So especially with Mercury here too, the emotions that are going to be coming through on a full moon, bringing all this stuff out, pulling all of this energy out. It's one of those moments where people are probably going to try to suppress. They're going to probably try to suppress because they don't want to hear the dark. They don't want to hear their shadows. But a lot of people are going to be acting on their shadows. A lot of people are going to be acting on their thoughts and how their feelings trigger their thoughts and how their thoughts trigger their feelings. People are going to be acting on that. And with Jupiter here, it's still reminding Mars, like, hey, do you really value this thing though? You know what I mean? What about the morality sense of this? That's the thing about Jupiter and Taurus too. That's why a lot of the weird things are happening where I say like Jupiter rules Sag, which is about belief, and then Taurus, I would say, is like your value, but also morality, and how those two things are being conflated right now. And you have a Jupiter that's retrograde here, meaning that it's turned off. So we are like, our beliefs are being confronted with morality, and then you have a Uranus here, which is really shaking things up. And the last time that Uranus was here was World War II, and alliances are breaking down and reforming, and new alliances are coming up, and the world's going to look much different geopolitically. We thought it was going to look the same way, but it's not. Just because Taurus is fixed Earth. You got Jupiter there. It's mutable fire and mutable water, if you look at the traditional rulerships. Now, what I find interesting too is that when you move this forward and you move to the exact conjunction of Mercury and Mars, which happens at 11:54, this is going to be at 10:24 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, you're going to see the moon right in the middle, right in the miller of Jupiter and Uranus, right when they conjunct. Still opposing Jupiter, mind you, but the moon is going to be right at the midpoint, here at 15 degrees. Not to mention it's in the decan that's ruled by Mercury, or Chiron, if you look at Chiron rulership. Talk about a very mercurial weekend. And a weekend that's going to be calling us to, be grounded emotionally with that moon in Taurus, but also be mercurial, be objective, be hermetic, not get too washed up by the current, but being able to look at the events over the weekend and the events in our life and have discernment, and not just get solely wrapped up in what we think it should look like, what we believe it should look like, what we believe other people should do. That's the other thing about this with this whole Jupiter-Uranus dance is, you have people that are projecting their beliefs and moralities on other groups of people. And it's mainly beliefs because it's Jupiter, right? And conflating the two as if they're the same thing. I mean, people thinking that because someone else has a different belief, that their morals must be different. No. But people aren't going to see that. They're going to get so wrapped up and think that the two are one and the same. They can influence each other, but they're not the same. I think that's probably one of the biggest lessons of Jupiter and Uranus here in Taurus. And with the full moon here, which I was doing the research, I can't find this aspect happening again. I was looking for a full moon in Taurus with Jupiter and Uranus there. Couldn't find it. Especially with the North Node here too. I think I saw one with the South Node there, but I don't think Jupiter was there. I think Jupiter was in Aries or another sign. I went way back. I was looking back to I went all the way back to the 1500s. And then I was looking far ahead. I couldn't find it. So we're not going to get Jupiter with Uranus and a full moon in Taurus with a North Node in Aries. We're not going to see that again in our lifetimes. So this is a very unique transit, a very unique weekend, where we can release these preconceived notions of belief and morality and how they're conflated and how we think they have to be the same when it's not. They can influence each other, right? With a North Node in Aries, that's asking us to be that spiritual warrior to overcome strife and discord and to build those bridges in life and build that understanding and build that connection and get over these emotional chasms that we all have. We all have emotional chasms that we are afraid to get over, and we're afraid to connect to people because one person or two people or maybe a group of people hurt us, and we are afraid to connect with people. Don't be afraid to connect. You don't have to do it all on your own. You're powerful, you're strong, but teamwork makes the dream work. You can't do this by yourself. That's why there's like 8 billion people here. It's not just one person here, right? We're all connected too. Nobody wins when we conflate belief and morality and try to project our sense of belief on someone as if it was morality. Nobody wins, because if one side wins, that means somebody on the other side lost a dad, lost a mom, a brother, a sister, a friend, a loved one, and then they're going to try and get revenge. And then it's just a repeating fucking cycle. How many times are we going to go through this shit? Moon's going to conjunct Uranus at 21 degrees. All right. By this time, Mars and Mercury are still traveling with each other, but Mercury has not passed over Mars. But they're at 12 degrees. So they're going to be conjunct the entire weekend, right? And then you got that moon that's going to come on top of Uranus, which is, at this point, you're really going to feel the collective energy. Really going to feel the collective energy. And of course, 1 + 2 is 3, which is Jupiter energy. That's Sag energy. Belief. What do you believe about the collective? What do you believe about humanity? What do you believe about the stories that are going to come out? What do you believe about it? Venus within 5 degrees of Neptune, Sun within 5 degrees of Jupiter. Saturn, that is going to station direct within a week of the Sunday. It's going to be a very powerful full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. And I think it's going to be one of the most important transits of the year. I really do. Not only is it very unique, but it gives us an opportunity to really recalibrate. And I think this really comes down to, where in our personal life can we make a difference? There's so many things in the external world that we just cannot control, right? Saturn at the beginning of Pisces, Neptune towards the end of Pisces, they're both retrograde. You got a Pluto at 27 degrees of Capricorn. There's so many things that we cannot control, okay? But we got to focus on what we can control. We have some control in these areas. We have some control in these areas of Taurus and Scorpio and Aries. We have some control there, right? So what can you work on? What can you control, if you will? But also, you don't need to have so much control where to the point where you strain. I think it's more about what can you influence? What can you change? What can you build? What bridges can you build? What connections can you make? How do you process these emotions? How do you process these deeper feelings, these deeper thoughts? Are you okay with sitting by yourself? Are you okay with going in a hermit mode from time to time and actually sit with yourself and sit with God? I know it may be scary because you have to swim past all of the ghouls and demons of emotions that you did not confront and that should have been released multiple full moons ago. But we all have something, right? The full moons and all these, they're there to help us to release, but we all hold on to something from those points, right? They're like soul beads, if you will. It's kind of the way I look at it, right? Like moon beads, like little beads, if you will. So whether or not how heavy that bead is, how heavy that link is, how heavy that chain of balls is, if you will, is it going to weigh you down? That's the thing about this. Some of you guys are probably feeling like it's like, how come I can't move forward? It's like a freaking emotional ball, if you will, that happened 3 years ago that you haven't released, and you've had multiple full moons to help you to release it, but some part of you just can't seem to release it. I think it's about acknowledging and not having this preconceived notion of what releasing it actually means, or this bond. For example, say you like someone in the past and it didn't work out, whatever like that, and you're wondering, it's like, well, maybe you did like a ritual to try and cut that cord, but the thing is still there. Of course, you met them; they had an impact on you. You experienced a part of your life with each other. It's not about cutting the cord; it's about transmuting and transforming that cord. And so that when you see their picture pop up on Facebook, you're not met with like, oh, what could have been. You're met with, I'm happy that they're happy. You transform the cord. The cord doesn't disappear. It just transmutes and it transforms. Some of you guys trying to cut cords to people, and then you don't even know that you're actually strengthening them in some weird way. Transform it. Transform it. This is Scorpio season. This is the season of transformation, death and rebirth, the phoenix rising. Let's see what we have for the cards, y'all. Be closer to me. Be where I am. As fast as you can. Be where I am. Yeah. Be where I am. As fast as you can. Be where I am. All right, let's see what we have for the cards today. Oh, wow. Well, look at that. We got the Two of Pentacles. Not Two of Pentacles, Jesus. Two of Wands in reverse. He's holding the globe in his hand. Two of Wands in reverse. Yeah, we may be wondering about how in the world, like where this thing is going. We're definitely wondering like what way is the world going to turn? What timeline are we about to go down? I definitely think we can all feel like that. But consider this a blessing that this is in reverse, because this actually gives us the opportunity. We have like a little bit of a buffer zone to decide which way we kind of want to take this thing, what timeline that we want to jump down. Remember, Saturn, the ruler of time, is retrograde at 0 degrees of Pisces. We have a beautiful buffer time. We got a week. We have another week to decide which way we want to turn this world. And I mean, that's on the larger scale and then in your personal life. So if anything, don't focus necessarily on the big, huge, wide scope of it, but focus on your world. What timeline do you want to go down in your own personal life? That's really what this comes down to. We also have the Seven of Cups in reverse. Oh yeah, there's a lot of different options, but we're wondering. We're sitting there at the grocery store. There's 10 different kinds of apples, and we don't know which one to pick. Over a narrow gorge, the bridge is being built, right? You probably already know which way to go. You're hesitating. But this hesitation is probably, like I said, probably a blessing in disguise, giving us an opportunity to really ask ourselves, okay, what timeline do you want to go down? You know what I mean? And maybe we are second guessing what we're picking. Maybe we're second guessing that apple. But whatever it is that you chose is the path that you were meant to choose. It was divine. Draw one more card. We have the Magician reverse. So whenever I see all reverse cards, that means you can read it both ways, right? Committing to a path, committing to a pick, but realizing that you do have options and that there's a lot of abundance, and being the magician in your life and realizing that you are the avatar, you can wield all four elements, and that you can move and create and do magical things. And people will look at you wondering how in the hell you're manifesting all this. But it comes down to you trust in the divine process. Bottom of the deck. The devil card. The devil is in the details about this thing. And it is the only card that is upright in this. Which lets me know that the devil, if you will, this energy is going to be having us to look at the world in an upside down way. The world's being turned upside down. And we're having to learn how to navigate an upside down world. Where left is right and right is left. We're having to navigate that. And it feels weird. It feels awkward. And we wonder if we have the capability and the strength to move through these times. You absolutely do. So this is about, not avoiding your shadow. Okay? Not avoiding your shadow. Not avoiding those darker emotions or even thoughts, but moving through them, processing them. You got to remember, the moon, which rules our emotions, moves really, really fast. Mercury is the fastest planet, and it rules mutable air and Gemini. So this is something that's not just going to just stay the same way, right? Things move, things flow. But the longer that you resist processing these darker emotions, these darker thoughts, if you will, the longer that you put off processing them and transmuting and transforming them, the more the devil in the details start to become bigger and 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 bigger until you see the whole of your situation as a devil, or you try to cast it and say that as a devil or a demon, and you try and say that you then that's when you go and say all of these people are devils, all these people are demons. This entire situation is that when you, beloved, were the one that suppressed and wouldn't face your shadow, and now it's become so big that you can't ignore it anymore. And you still don't take the accountability and have the vibrational integrity to acknowledge your role in this manifestation. Your role in this manifestation. Not their role, but your role. Yeah, I'm ready for this one. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. I'm channeling right now, but I gotta actually, I gotta go to work. So I'll draw one more card for you guys. Four of Cups. Yeah, we're definitely feeling lethargic, definitely contemplating. But you know what? I think something is being given to all of us. And that cup right there, we want it to be something that's actually going to sustain us. I think because, look, he's been given 3 cups and it's still not enough. And he's just sort of sitting there and he's not really appreciating. And she's giving. And that's the thing, too. It's some of you guys may be feeling like you're getting things, but is it enough? Are you being satiated? This is a very rich person that has achieved all of their successes, that achieved all their goals, and has all the money in the world to buy whatever they want, and it's still not enough, which means that it's nothing material that's going to satiate you. It's not the material that's going to satisfy you. It is a spiritual wealth. It is a spiritual currency. Some of the richest people in the world, when it comes to a spiritual wealth sense, they broke you broke. Their spirit is broken. But you can mend a broken spirit. Don't believe in the hype that you can't mend a broken spirit. You absolutely can. So that is going to do it for your full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus astrology forecast for this weekend of October 28th through the 29th of 2023. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. If you did enjoy this, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, beloved, follow the link in the description below to my website, jphoenix.com. And as always, y'all take care, stay blessed, have a wonderful weekend, spend time with your loved ones, cherish them, appreciate them, love them, fellowship, appreciate the things in life that you have. Gratitude is going to go a long way this weekend. Don't be afraid to live your life. Go out there, do amazing things. I believe in you. You got this. Y'all take care. Stay blessed. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Peace.